Tonight, coronavirus exploding coast to coast.
Here is the economic fallout.
1 million new cases. Many hospitals are on the brink of getting overwhelmed.
Families are always looking for hope, but sometimes there's just not a lot of hope to give them.
2020. An unexpected year. The year when everything fell apart. Every day, there are surging numbers of COVID-19 cases worldwide, with governments being concerned as they take action by enforcing strict lockdown and social distancing orders. Due to the growing concerns about social distance, it resulted in reduced travel, avoiding crowds, and other protective practices to slow the spread of COVID-19. There is no doubt that the COVID-19 virus has resulted in an era of economic uncertainty. Overall, the GDP from agriculture in Indonesia decreased to about 84,000 billion rupiah in the third quarter of 2020 from about 96,000 billion rupiah in the second quarter of 2020. This all began in the start of March, when President Joko Widodo announced the first 2 COVID-19 cases in Indonesia. People became frightful as they began to panic buy. As a result of the rapid increase in demand of several staple foods, there has been drastic increases in the price, leading to an inflation for Indonesia's economy. Although panic buying is increasing consumption, which may lead to an increase in aggregate demand, in the long run, it may not be the case, as people will buy less in the future. As the virus continues to spread, many are feeling fearful to step out of their homes. This has led to a steep decline in food service sales, which has made an impact on the agricultural market and its prices. During March, food inflation rose to 6.02%. As people stay at their homes and stop panic buying, this value has fallen, with a 2.25% rate of inflation as of October 2020. The price softening resulted from the decrease in incomes, as well as the changes in the way consumers purchase their food, as everyone is required to stay in their respective homes, preventing them from working and going to restaurants. There are also supply-side shocks that occur. There has been labor shortages, as increasing numbers of farmers are being infected by the virus, while others need to stay home to care for their families. However, farmers are forced to work due to the high demand of food produced, as it is a necessity, especially in these unprecedented times. The labor shortage would prevent agribusinesses from working to its full capacity. Such cases would result in a more likely chance that a food crisis would occur. Agriculture is one of the key sectors in Indonesia, as it is the main source of employment in rural areas, employing around 40 million Indonesians. Over 85% of these farmers are smallholders, owning less than 2 hectares of land. With this being said, they are prevented from getting a hold of opportunities offered by Indonesia's economic growth. Their lack of access to markets has worsened their condition even further by the global pandemic. While working to feed the world, many agricultural workers are unable to lift themselves out of poverty and food insecurity.
Nanti ada COVID-19 ini untuk mempertahankan hidup ya tidak ada jalan lain, harus jadi petani kembali. Untuk yang mau dijual enggak ada karena yang penting kita bisa bertahan hidup saja.
Additionally, there are supply chain slowdowns as there are issues regarding farm product delivery. Drivers are unable to work, causing agricultural raw materials to be passed on to manufacturers and consumers at a very delayed time. As the pandemic spreads, the continued functioning of food supply chains is crucial in reducing the adverse impacts on the economy. The COVID-19 pandemic has also dampened Indonesia's palm oil exports by 11% in the first semester of 2020 from the corresponding period in 2019, as the world struggles with the pandemic and many countries enforce lockdown of varying degrees. This decline will impact farmers and business operators in the industry, Vice President Maruf Amin stated. However, among all trade goods, agricultural products have experienced a much smaller decline compared to the other sectors, with an overall 0 to 5% decline during the first and second quarter. In the midst of all this, it is said that Indonesia's agricultural sector is most promising, whereas other businesses are uncertain. As food is essential, the demand for agricultural products will continue to increase. Therefore, Indonesia's agricultural sector must be taken seriously, as it is necessary to feed the world population as well as to sustain Indonesia's economy during this pandemic. What the government has done to ensure this is by spending 34 trillion rupiah for loan interest subsidies and loan repayment relaxations for farmers and fishermen, to guarantee that these workers are still undergoing their agricultural processes while carrying less burden on their shoulders. Indonesia's agricultural sector will continue to ensure the sustainability of Indonesia's economy in these hard times, as long as governments take measures seriously to ensure that agribusinesses are working efficiently and effectively, while also implementing certain measures such as supply side and expansionary fiscal policies to drive competitiveness to guarantee the promotion of exports. This includes training for workers and spending on protective equipment to ensure the safety and health of farmers.
Months has passed since the start of the pandemic, but Indonesia's agricultural sector managed to get back up on its feet. As Indonesia is taking its agricultural sector seriously, it is certain that agribusinesses are running quite smoothly. What is more concerning is Indonesia's other sectors, as their condition during this pandemic is not the most promising.